Hi YouTube, 2E0 F&M back again with another video. Today I wanted to do a review of the Messi and Paoloni ExtraFlex Bury 10 Coax. Really good coax. So I'll give you a bit of a backstory. I've been using Mini 8 coax on HF. I've been on HF a couple of years now, and I've been using Mini 8 for 2 years, and it's fine. I've had no problems with it whatsoever. Obviously, it's a sort of a budget coax, really, and for sort of 80 meters and 40, probably, you know, it works absolutely fine. But I do like 20 meters, and I do talk to Wayne G0 HIJ. Big shout out to you, Wayne. I do talk to him on 10 meters quite often, so I wanted to improve my station basically. So I was looking at Messi and Paoloni again. If you haven't seen my video on the Hyperflex 10 that I did a couple of years ago, I'll leave a link in the description for that. But that's been on my co-linear on the house for 2 years now, and I've had so many good reports, and it made such a big difference, especially VHF, UHF. So I knew I wanted to stick with Messi and Paoloni. So yeah, I've been using that. So I contacted Messi and Paoloni and asked what kind of coax I should go for. I did want to go with the Hyperflex 10, and they went to the trouble of asking me how I want to install my my cable. So I actually did them a video of my garden, and I wanted it running along the fence, along the top of the grass basically. And they said because it's going to have a lot of standing water, they recommended the ExtraFlex Bury, which you can actually bury this cable, but not that I do it in my case, but because there's going to be a lot of standing water, this is a 100% waterproof coax, so for my situation works great. It's not as flexible as the Hyperflex 10, but as you can see, it's totally fine. There's nothing, you know, you can get it to work round your shack, no problem. As you can see in the picture, I've got it coming down the house at the front, and then with a drip loop into the shack. So what I'll do now is I will just show you a little video of me in the garden. Once the antenna, I got a local antenna guy to basically install the coax over the house. You know, drill the holes in the front, push the coax through. I've got about 6 meters in here. Up and over the house, so I'll take to the video of me basically installing the plugs. I didn't show that on the video, you know, I just showed you how I've done it and filmed in bits, and then I'll show you how I actually went, how I'd fit it on the Stereo, and then I'll show you a video of it actually in the garden, you know, how I've got it all in its proper place. So yeah, I'll join you back here once you've seen those videos. So I'll see you in a minute. Right, so I'm going to put the coax on the aerials and put the plugs on. So I'm going to replace the Stereo coax and the end-fed antenna coax. So that's the install. It's been put in now, up and over the house like that. I've done the plugs on the inside, so I just need to do the plugs on this side. I'll probably start with a Stereo. So how much of it I'll film, I can always go on the computer and fill you in with any details, but that's the plan on this side. Right, that's the antenna sorted. I've just looped it round there, put some waterproof tape up on there, so that's the 10 meter antenna sorted. So I'm just about to put it in its place now, and then tidy up the coax a bit, but really nice stuff to work with. Yeah, really good. I tested the SWR briefly before I actually finished the job up, and it seems to be fine, so I can go ahead and finish this now. Right, so just a video so you can see how I've got it. I've got it basically going over the top of the house, in through the front bedroom window, over the roof, coming down the brackets there, and then I've got it coming basically down the wall, and then across the bottom here. So this coax is not as flexible as the Hyperflex 10 that I used for the co-linear, but it is completely waterproof, and it's meant to be buried. There's a lot of standing water in my garden. As you can see, I have them running along the floor like that, so there's a lot of standing water, so this is a lot better cable for that purpose. That's why I went with the ExtraFlex Bury. So yeah, the sort of downside is it's not quite as flexible, but it's still flexible. Don't get me wrong. You can still you know, make it work how you want it. It's not in any way stopping you doing what you want to do, but it's just not quite as flexible. I've got a coil here Now I've kept, for the time being, for the purposes of the video, I've cut these two lengths, one for the Sirio, one for the end-fed, both at 50 metres exactly. It was a 100-metre drum, two 50-metre lengths, just so that it keeps everything simple. When I'm sort of seeing how the differences are, you know, then I know I've got exactly 50 metres, and then it goes up to the Sirio like that, coiled up on there. So that's that side, and then for the end-fed half wave, I've lost some of the coax there in a few coils there, and then it goes across the garden like this, and then I've got another bit of a coil there, and then going up into the UK antennas end-fed. But like I say, I will trim this up in the future, but for the purposes of the video, I wanted to keep the two 50-metre lengths. But as you can see, you know, it just goes across the garden like that, and then down to the side, and then up and over the house like that. So that's how I've got it set up in the garden. So yeah, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that little part of the video. So just a bit of a, you know, backstory on that is I talked to Wayne G0HIJ on 10 meters at night sometimes, and with the Mini 8 coax, obviously the higher the frequency, you know, your loss becomes more of an issue to consider. And obviously 28 megs is sort of on the higher end of HF. So you know, from what I used to talk to Wayne, we did a couple of tests before I'd done the coax, and I was using about 25 watts on the Mini 8, and I was giving him about a signal 7, and then when I changed the coax, I was giving him a 9 with the same power, or nearly a 9. So I mean, conditions could play a bit of it, maybe, I'm not sure, but yeah, it was a definite improvement. 100% improvement. Really good. I do listen to 11 meters quite a lot, and you get used to hearing where people are and how strong their signals are, and you get used to it after time. And everyone's signals are slightly up, you know, it makes a big difference that way. There's like people that were in the back of the box on the Mini 8, and I can hear them now with the coax. So fantastic. With this kind of coax as well, you know, it's not that expensive, but I suppose if you're thinking about Mini 8 coax, you might be thinking, well, it's quite an investment to go putting this sort of stuff in, but believe me, it makes a big difference. And with this particular coax, I mean, my other coax, the HyperFlex 10's been up 2 years on the roof in the elements, 100% fine. It's probably going to last me another couple of decades, and I expect no difference from this. So it's one of them things, you know, it's an initial outlay, but it's going to last you forever. You know, this coax is 100% waterproof. The plugs that I used here are waterproof as well. I got 8 plugs. I've just got to make this patch lead at some point as well. That's the last sort of job to do for the wire and the choke that I use. But really good coax. I'm very impressed with it. Like I say, they were really helpful. Told me, you know, what the best coax for my situation. So I contacted them on Facebook. I mean, there's many ways you can contact them. They have information on the website. I'll leave a link in the description. And I've never fitted these plugs before, these compression plugs. I've just used the standard PL259 plugs, you know, the standard ones you get. I was finding that I was having a lot of sort of how do I explain it? Problems fitting them to the back of the radio. The standard plugs, you know, they weren't like a proper fit. I don't know if them cheaper PL plugs aren't an exact size or something, but they didn't seem to screw on very nice. They sort of lose the tightness. They just sort of bit naff, really. It's hard to explain, but I mean, you guys out there will probably know what I mean. But these are fantastic. They've got a lot of resources on the website here. They've got a video on how to fit the PL plugs. It's about 2 minutes long. I've never done these before, so I watched the video. It tells you exactly how to cut the coax, how to do it. First time, no problem. I've done 6 of them now. All work 100% fine. It tells you exactly what to do in the video. So obviously check the video out, and then you can, you know, follow along. But a lot of you probably have used compression plugs before, but for me it was a total beginner. They've got a data sheet here. I'll just quickly show you this. So this is their data sheet for this coax. So we've got a reactive braid with 192 wires of copper clad aluminium. We've got 100% screening foil in there, and we've got a foam dielectric triple layer, and obviously the inner conductor. But just on the side here, we've got the attenuation chart, and on 28 megs, we've got on 100 meters, we've got a 2 dB loss on the 28 megs here. I've got two 50-meter lengths. I've kept them at 50 meters so I can kind of know what, that I know that there's 50 out there. I probably will trim it down, after the video when summer comes, whatever. But so we're talking 1 dB loss on 50 meters on 28 megs, and on 14 megs it's 1.5. So fantastic, and obviously if you're using this VHF, UHF, even better still. But I looked at a coax calculator, so I just put my Mini 8 in here, 50 meters length. I just put 100 watt in here, and the loss is 2.6 nearly dB loss. So a huge improvement, and it's noticeable. It really is noticeable. So just to give you an idea, I mean, you can obviously look into this a bit more detail yourself. I'll leave the links in the description, and if you haven't seen my HyperFlex 10 review, then check that out as well, because there'd be bits of information on both sides for that. So I really hope that's been helpful to you. It's just my sort of review of the ExtraFlex Bury. Fantastic coax. Really, really impressed with it. Leave a comment below. What coax do you use? You might use RG58, Mini 8. How do you find it? I know the lower in frequency you go, it's less of an issue. But 28 megs is one of my favourite sort of bands that I chat to Wayne on, and I do like 11 meters. I'm not, I do very much enjoy listening to 11-meter band. So it makes big differences for that sort of thing. And obviously 20 meters as well. I mean, I use a lot of FT8 stuff. I really enjoy FT8. And now I just have my radio on less power and probably getting more to the antenna. I was probably running 25 watts on the Mini 8, and now I run 15. Still getting contacts all day long, no problem at all. Absolutely fantastic. So give the video a thumbs up if you like it, or a thumbs down if you don't. Please subscribe. I do have a disabled boy, so obviously I film videos when I can. I can't always get to filming things, but please stick with me. I'll film stuff when I can. And obviously I've got ideas coming, and I'll always keep you posted. But leave a comment, let me know how you're getting on and how you're finding stuff. And don't forget to check out my website, m6eb.com. Some information on different reviews on radios and that kind of thing on there. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've been 2E0 FNM. You've been very kind to watch. 7-3.